You gotta move over. What are you doing? I'm trying to get my IMDb time.
With this big crossover, is there something you get to do that's different in how you approach this character?
You know, this movie is such an amazingly large scale of an event that my character really gets to bring everyone into the fold and really culminate the experience of the dramatic example of what this universe is about to undertake because of Doom. So I'm kind of like the glue that brings everybody together and makes sure that we go out as a team and save the world, which is, you know, really dope, and is what Captain America is supposed to be.
I can't give anything away. But I do feel like, this is like an extensive, existential epic of a movie where everything's sort of turned on its head. So it gave me an opportunity to do something more and something different than I haven't done with this character before. And I'm always looking for that. There's no point in kind of going over old ground, because if it was just repeating something that we've already seen a million times. And so we discussed all the different ways that we could kind of keep this story going for Steve and Peggy, but the stakes are the highest they could possibly be, and what that might look like.
There's an awareness of one's limitations. Obviously, I'm next to some gods, some heroes that have powers that Joaquin himself has seen on TV. He's looked up to them since he was young and just a normal civilian before he even enlisted, before he was even in line to be Falcon. And so that was a really interesting place where I think it mirrored my life as well, where it's like I remember sitting in the theater watching Endgame and being like, I would love to be a part of this world. And we were filming Top Gun during that time, if I'm not mistaken. And then I told my team, I'm like, I would love to be a part of this family. And then it ended up being one of the first roles I cast after Endgame. And so it was like, it's to sit there and then see Chris Evans and be like, oh, like, I remember sitting there literally as a fan, blown away by this magic that they were able to pull off, how I was able to shout and cry and be on this roller coaster ride with everyone around me. And so then to be a part of it, I think it's grown from being happy to be here to then now wanting that responsibility to continue giving to a team, because I think you believe that you are fully trying to help out. And there's all these things that have to go right, and you're one of those things.
The world needs the Avengers.
For real?
When you have a crossover this big, how do you find the emotional story beneath it? What relationship do you base that on?
I mean, it's critical you find the emotional story. You have to bring the audience in through the point of view of that emotional story. What we're compelled by is an emotional story for the heroes, but also one for the villain. And when those stories compete, it creates conflict in the audience about what they're watching, and that usually turns into the most exciting kind of film.
And did you both have clarity about what emotional story that would be?
Well, yeah, because when we made Avengers Endgame, we didn't think we were ever going to make a Marvel movie again. And for many years, it wasn't really something that was in the mix. Even though we love Marvel, we talked to them a lot about a lot of ideas. But it was really that sort of emotional story concept that Steve McFeely, the writer, came up with that turned the corner for us. When we heard that idea, that's when we knew we had a movie, the movie that we had to make.
What is the secret sauce for giving every main character their own scene, as you have done in the past?
I mean, it takes a lot of work. It takes, as we say, a lot of coats of paint. You know, you have to keep diligently working the story to make sure everyone gets their moments. But you really need to find a collective emotional drive for them. Because, that's the best way to bind them together and move them through the story.